Hi there, and welcome to Nationalism in 5 Minutes by Chepstow Politics. So, when we're talking about nationalism, we need to think about a couple of key concepts. The first of which is the idea of the nation. And by nation, we mean a group of people with common cultural identity, also known as Gemeinschaft, for example, the French. The second of which is the state. By the state, we really mean a political reality or a political entity. So that's a defined territory with a centre of sovereignty or government, such as India after independence in 1948. It's important to note that there may be one nation within a state, as shown here. A nation-state is therefore the geopolitical collision of both nation and state. And this is the basis for the nationalist movement in the 18th century in France, through the doctrine of self-determination or self-governance. There are several key principles for nationalists, the first of which is self-determination, second, a belief in the organic society, and the third, Gemeinschaft, common cultural identity. And these can be remembered through the acronym SOG. So, what is self-determination? Well, self-determination is the idea that a nation has a right to form their own government, also known as national sovereignty or self-governance. This is what happened after the fall of the British Empire all across Africa. The organic society is an idea that a common sense of identity will bring people together to form one nation. So, if I'm English, I speak English, I know English traditions, English history, I therefore will join with other English people as one English nation. And finally, Gemeinschaft is best translated as common cultural identity, although it involves even more than that and includes language, history and traditions. Since its origins in the French Revolution, many different types of nationalism have arisen. The first and earliest form is liberal nationalism. It's a form of nationalism that essentially promotes self-determination, democracy and liberty from imperialist invaders. The second is conservative nationalism. Conservatives have used nationalism to create greater social unity within the nation-state. They also use it to preserve national interests, both at home and abroad through their imperialist ambitions. Right-wing nationalists have gone even further and used nationalism to promote national superiority, xenophobia, expansionism, spreading their nationalism, and totalitarianism. Post-colonial nationalists have created a sort of false Gemeinschaft based on the borders given to them at the end of the British Empire, or colonial rule. It's often socialist, autocratic, and based on autarky. Socialist nationalism, again, has been used by nations such as Cuba to promote nationalism for social unity and a stronger state. Racialist nationalism, for example, apartheid South Africa, again has used nationalism for racial superiority or exclusivity, unification of a single racial group, and racial expansion. And finally, cultural nationalists, such as those in Wales over the last 20 years, have used nationalism to protect their culture and their tradition, but have no desire for political sovereignty. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow @Chepstow History.